welcome to another episode of Around Kuwait, where we shed the light on the most recent events and focus on trending incidents and the latest updates in Kuwait. And of course, as always, we'll have inspiring stories to share with our guests, from our guests with you all. I'm your host Fajr, and today we have the privilege of hosting a distinguished guest, Ahmed Muqeem, a renowned painter whose brushstrokes have captured the essence of Kuwait's rich history and cultural heritage. Of course, from iconic portraits of Kuwaiti luminaries to representing the nation on the global stage, Ahmed Muqeem's artistic journey is nothing short of inspiring. Join us as we explore his artistic process, his connection to Kuwait, and the profound impact of his work on the country's cultural landscape. Welcome to Around Kuwait, Ahmed.
Thank you, Fajr. It's my pleasure.
Of course, we're really looking forward to learning more about the art you deliver in Kuwait. And for us to start, can you tell us about your journey as a painter and how that started?
As many people of the young age, children, kids, they enjoy colors, enjoy drawing shapes, cartoon characters. I've been through the same. I was enjoying drawing characters of famous cartoons in Kuwait and international also cartoons. That started with the basic shapes with pencil and basic colors, the charcoal colors, and later on, during like what we say high school, primary school, I start using advanced techniques in drawing realistic portraits. So I started drawing my parents, family, friends.
So you're inspired by your surroundings?
Of course, it's natural thing and it's normal to be surrounded by environment around you. Especially that time that there was no social media, no internet, so we've been surrounded by shapes, pictures, magazines.
And recently we know and we've seen that a lot of your artwork focuses on the essence of Kuwaiti figures. So what inspires you to deliver such artwork?
In my first trip to Italy in 2011, we say, the first trip to Italy, I discovered the beauty of landscapes and figures, famous the big portraits in the museums about the kings, emperors, story in scenes in history. So I said, I want to do this in my country. I want to make paintings about history.
So you felt the inspiration when you saw all that history and the history behind all the art?
Yeah, it was inspiration. At the same time, we say love. It's love to our leaders. So we experience this love in paintings.
And we can see that you've also delivered it as part of your art, through which you've done notable figures, notable Kuwaiti figures such as Abd Hussein Abd Rida, Saad Al Farai, and a number of other characters. So what was the inspiration behind that, and what's the process of you creating such figures?
We can talk about it in two different types, is two different sectors. First, the technique, the learning, and the process of improving my technique as a portrait realistic painter. That journey took a long time, a lot of work, hard work, studies I made about in books and visiting museums to improve my technique. And I wanted to paint as an appreciation of these iconic figures in Kuwait. I found that my role as an artist is to experience this love and appreciation to these people. So I started painting by myself. Nobody commissioned me or asked me to paint these figures. Then people found the beauty, and it's authentic.
The
portraits.
authenticity, was that something new when it came to your art, or did you always have this authenticity when it comes to the Kuwaiti culture and the heritage being portrayed in your work?
It's character. It's character and style. My style, my character, I have presented it in paintings. I don't paint any picture or any figure. I have to feel first and understand the language behind the meaning, the language, the information in this figure, and what he have been in his life, the challenges he faced, his journey.
But all these factors, I'm sure sometimes you might struggle when it comes to expressing the feelings that you're feeling when like you said, you're feeling inspired or motivated and you want to portray it in your art. So you might face a number of struggles and challenges. Can you tell us more about them?
I love challenges.
Like what?
I love to draw hard topics and hard figures. Nothing is hard or impossible to paint, but there are portraits and figures that needs a lot of work, a lot of study to bring it to the realistic and the final true image in the painting.
How you're envisioning it.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Especially when someone commissioned me paintings in black and white references and unclear images. These challenges I accept. I love to experience new challenges that will improve myself, improve my career. At the same time, I can learn more. If you didn't experience the harder work, you will not learn.
And what
Especially mistakes.
message? You're talking a lot about learning and the efforts you've put from the beginning of your art journey up till this day. But what message are you trying to share with people that are interested in your art, your fans, people that are viewing your art as well, especially when it comes to the portraits of Kuwaiti icons?
I don't have any messages to send or to show people or to tell them about something, but I want them to enjoy. That's it.
So you
Enjoy
want
the
it to
beauty.
be something that resonates with them and gives them the feeling of joy?
Because I create pictures, paintings. It's a visual language. I don't have to say any message or to deliver any message. They can just see the visual image and enjoy it, think in their own way. I don't like to force them in or put them in a box to limit them in one message or one meaning. Let them experience by themselves the way they feel.
So your art delivers its own message.
Own message.
Can we say that?
Maybe there is a message, but I don't paint as a purpose of sending or delivering message.
But how do you capture the essence of the figures you've painted, especially that they're very significant in Kuwait's history and culture? So how do you capture their essence and portray it through your work?
First, you have to read and study the history behind this character. For example, if I want to make a man or a figure with a gesture in his hand, why do I make this hand gesture? Maybe he's a leader, maybe he's a deep thinker. So when I paint someone, I have to read about them just to feel his character, because body language represents the personality. It's not about face. There is body language, there is the muscle movement in the face also. So it's all related to the character. So it's about doing the homework.
And speaking of doing the homework, a lot of artists feel that they need to connect with the subject of their portraits or their up-and-coming work, the whole theme, maybe it's a self-portrait. Do you ever feel you need to meet the person before actually working on the art you want to create for them?
I believe that everything is in the mind. So we see first, we can focus on object, and by focusing on the object, you can start feeling the connection. Any object you can draw, you can paint, first by focusing and meditating and trying to look in a different way, not just a quick view. Quick view, you will not feel or capture things. Like, for example, you drive a car and you see some logos or cars around, people. You might not remember what you see, but if you focus on the object and spend more time, you will start to feelings get moving.
And I like how you also included or mentioned meditation, like it's a form of meditating, like you said, and sometimes you need to be more relaxed. But now, speaking of being calm and understanding what's in your mind to better bring it out on while you paint, is there any specific ritual you follow during Ramadan that might ignite your artistic spark? Is there a specific theme you like to go with? Are you inspired by something specific during Ramadan? Tell us more about that.
During Ramadan, I prefer to stop painting and maybe just sketching. I love to sketch after iftar time.
Why?
Because, you know, after iftar, you have a short time. And I love to spend with family, friends, meeting old people, people I didn't see for a long time. I spend time in cafes at night, just sketching quick sketches, just to warm up and keep things fresh.
And are these sketches related to family gatherings, futur time? Because I'm sure you get a lot of inspiration from Ramadan itself.
Actually, it's random. Nothing
Okay.
related to
Nothing
Ramadan.
related to
Nothing
the
at all.
holy month.
It's just random shapes, figures, people maybe sitting in cafes like this. Especially, you know, there is a big inspiration topic in Ramadan is when you see ladies with the dara dress. It's you can see different shapes, colors. So that's inspiration to draw. Also.
And this inspiration, does it always help you ensure that you're authentic, like you said in the beginning of our interview, and that all your paintings have this cultural relevance when it comes to the history and culture of Kuwait?
Speaking about authenticity and, let's say, maybe originality of the work, how you reach this authentic work is by drawing by yourself, by your thoughts, not following others. The problems that we're facing this time is many artists, especially beginners or advanced, they try to draw or paint by copying others. They say, oh, for example, Ahmed Muqeem did this. He painted these characters, I will paint them too. This is not authenticity. You're not doing it from yourself.
But don't you feel this has become the norm to some extent in Kuwait and the region as well? So you as an artist, how would you approach that? What sort of awareness do you feel is lacking in the art scene in Kuwait to stop this sort of copying or plagiarism?
They have to stop not putting the importance or the priority in social media. Just pause. Take a break from social media and surround yourself by your own environment. You'll get inspired by your own environment and your own thoughts, not social media. And this is how you will develop authenticity in your work. Simple.
And did this development affect you to some extent? For sure it affected you positively, but has it ever affected you negatively, especially that you make sure that all your work is authentic?
There's nothing negative or nothing makes me feel bad about it. But the positive thing is people start believing and saying that when Ahmed drew this person, he really captured his soul. He really captured his face. So when you hear people, listen to people talking about this means that I reached my purpose, goal.
That's lovely, and we're going to understand more about how you reached your purpose and goal. But right after this break, stay with us. And we're back again with the artist Ahmed Muqeem. We're understanding more about his role as an artist and how he managed to fulfill his life's purpose through his art. Ahmed, we'd also like to understand, what role do you believe art plays in preserving and promoting Kuwaiti heritage and culture, especially that you said authenticity is key when it comes to the art you deliver?
Sorry, again, can you repeat that question?
What role do you feel that art plays in preserving Kuwait's culture and heritage?
Okay. When you travel to Europe or different countries, first thing you think about is, where's the museums? You want to go to the museums and you see people all around the world visiting these museums, and you see long queue in the outdoor waiting to enter the museum to see a paintings, to see a famous painting or historic paintings. So this will make the country valuable, with high value, and people will see through the history of this country in the paintings. So because artists, when artists make paintings, they represent their country
and their mindset and
exactly.
The culture behind their mindset as well. So it plays a very vital role in expressing one's expressions, but also showcases how your culture is.
Exactly, that's the point. So it's important role for the artists to, it's two different roles. From the artists, from government, to provide the environment, the exhibitions, chances to artists to experience, also to create more museums for artists and painters. So people around the world will gather and visit the places, the country, and visit the museums to appreciate the work of the artist. And they can see the culture reflected in paintings.
And speaking of this international culture or art culture and how it's been reflected through you and the work you deliver, can you tell us more about your experiences attending symposiums and workshops internationally, and as well how representing Kuwait through your art has developed and is part of that?
During any artist's career, he will face something called international workshops, as symposiums. It's gatherings of artists from different countries around the world to paint and experience their knowledge and art related to their countries. So I had 2 invitations from China, and these invitations are like the highlights in my career.
How so?
It was the first symposium, the first invitation. It was my first time traveling and representing Kuwait. So it was a challenge for me, a new challenge.
But did you really feel excited, or were you just focused on it as a challenge?
I was so excited, and I want to show them that I'm really good. So, and I heard that there are famous artists from different countries around in the Arab world. So I accepted this, and I was excited to meet these people, share knowledge with them, and have their experience in the art field.
And speaking of other artists' experience, I'd like to know your experience and your connection with Italy. I know it's close to your heart, and you're really influenced by a number of Italian artists, and your artistic style and approach is also influenced from a number of artists and the history of Italy in general. So if you could tell us more about that.
Let's say during the early time in the beginning of 2000, 2003, I started to find discover the beauty of Leonardo da Vinci's work. And I read about him. He's Italian. He's
a really mastermind, because he's not only an artist, he's an inventor and a number of other things. So
Yes.
for you to actually delve into Leonardo da Vinci's mind, that's something awesome.
He's a polymath, a Renaissance man with different knowledge in different sectors in the science. I found the beauty, and I found that there is something related with my work.
In what sense?
I started drawing with pencil,
Mm.
and pencil there is a lot of movement related to details, a lot of details in pencil. You will use one pencil as just one tool to create a beauty, detail in skin color, in hair. And I found there is
And the
Leonardo,
shading. You
shading,
need to play around with the shading and
value study.
yes.
That's how I got really, let's say, I see it really good in value study, because I focused on pencil for a long time. And I found that in Da Vinci's sketches, drawings, there is a relation between my sketches and his drawing. So he inspired me to create more of these drawings. And I started to read about Italy. I found about Renaissance and history about it, the different artists who created the birth of Renaissance, Italy itself, who
The
shaped Italy.
Renaissance by itself was the peak or the boom of art during that time, and a lot of significant artists really shaped that. But I'd also like to talk about you and a significant artwork that you did, which was painting the dial for Sheikh Jabir Ahmed's watch.
That
How
dial
exciting was that?
You see, we also refers back to challenges. I love challenges. I always love to accept challenges. I received an email from a company in London to paint on dials. It's watch dials to paint on. I received a dial as a canvas to paint on it, and I choose my own subject. And they wanted to showcase an exhibition. So I was thinking, what can I paint on a dial watch? And I took like 1 week just to think about it. What can make a watch so special? Sheikh Jabir came in my mind, representing elegance, beauty, power, bold. So I decided to paint him on dial in only black and white colors with a gold shade in background. And it turns out to be a beautiful masterpiece.
Wow. Do you have any other memories that you can share with us, ones that are related to Ramadan maybe? I know you said you like to do your artwork after Futur, but I'm sure there's a specific memory or experience like the watch dial, something that comes to mind.
When you say Ramadan, I just relate it to family. Because, during the normal time and not in Ramadan time, the regular months in the year, it's not easy to gather with family every day. But in Ramadan there is something like, it's like God is telling you just to chill, relax,
And calm your mind.
take your time,
Stay calm and connected.
connected with God, connected with families, and simplicity.
And go back to traditional ways and our traditions, especially during the holy month of Ramadan. We always see family ties, like you said. But I'd like to understand more from you, Ahmed, when it comes to balancing traditional art forms with contemporary demands. A lot of classic art is no longer, let's say, as highly in demand.
I understand. Actually, the high-end, there are two different type of clients. There are clients who want a painting for their houses.
Mm-hmm.
They have some certain furniture, decoration. They want to hang a painting related to the decoration. I don't do that. I don't accept that.
Because that means you will need to create something based on the space they're
Definitely.
showing you rather than you creating from what you're envisioning by yourself. Is that why you don't take these projects?
Clients, if clients wants to deal with me, they want to deal with me with my paintings. Like, I want your work. Not because it's related to my place. It's because the beauty, the mastery in the work, we appreciate it. We want to hang it whenever we want, because it will add the beauty to make everything special. Not it's related to the place.
But don't you feel if it's related to the place, it's still adding beauty? It's still something you've created based on the inspiration you had, which is, let's say, for example, the living room.
See, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, about choosing a painting is when I choose related to my furniture.
Mm-hmm.
What if after 5 years I changed my furniture? So I have to change the painting. So why not I buy a painting that's not related to any furniture or any decoration, and then I can change my furniture freely without attaching it to the painting.
These are very valid points, Ahmed, and I'm sure a lot of people really want to learn more about, let's say, the basics of creating an art piece. But is that something you teach at the Gulf Theatre? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, I have a studio at Ribbon Gulf Theatre, and I started teaching in long time ago, in 2014. So we'll say about 10 years ago, I started teaching. And I've discovered that there are many artists in Kuwait, but their situation, the thing that they have faced in their life, maybe the environment at homes, in their houses, surrounded by people, friends, are not encouraging, let's say, to be an artist. So when I created this environment, we call it the studio of Ahmed Muqeem, people start to come visit and they feel the vibes. It's my world. It's not just a regular place to paint. You can see the world of Ahmed Muqeem as a place inside me, this world all inside my mind. So they enjoy painting. For example, in the beginning, it was just a workshop, but they said, we want to stay with you. We want to paint more. So now they become the artists of the studio. Now they become really professional in their work. I have students more than 1 year now, spending time with me at the studio. So when you spend time with the master for a long time, you will start to create very beautiful work. And one of my students just recently won a prize.
Wow, that's amazing. But you also mentioned that you're sharing your vibes, a bit of your mind with them at this art studio, or Ahmed Muqeem's art studio, and we're really enjoying you sharing all these informations related to art, and we're going to learn more from you, but right after this break. Stay with us. And we're back again, delving more into the art world of Ahmed Muqeem. Ahmed, your art has been showcased in a number of prestigious places such as Al Salam Palace and a number of other places, such as Abd Hussein Abdurrada's theater. How does it feel to have your art showcased in such locations?
It's first of all, it's honor for me to have showcasing my work in these places, and it's the trust that I've built during all this time, all the years I spent in painting and creating Ahmed Muqeem. So I reached this level to create my name, build the trust to people, so they choose me to create such a, let's say, sensitive topics and very important topics in the history of Kuwait and the characters and public figures in Kuwait.
And I'm sure it took you a while to understand Ahmed Muqeem, the brand. What changes did you see throughout the journey?
At the beginning, of course, I didn't see it as a let's say business or a brand, as you said, as you mentioned. It was just playful and joyful. I was enjoying the journey. And by time, people start to see the beauty. I wanted to have my pieces, my work in their houses. So I start to build this base, and I start to build the client base, and by time, value start to add up to the work. And when I shared my work in these places, or in China, for example, in museums in China, in Italy, all this will add up to value of the work.
And you include a number of elements that showcase Kuwait's history and culture. Like we said, they're part of your touches when it comes to your art. But how do you make sure that these elements are there when it comes to international audiences or to reaching international audiences?
Art is a universal language. For example, in my exhibition in Venice, all my paintings were related to Kuwait. And the visitors from Italy, they were seeing and discovering the work. They spend a lot of time watching and enjoying the work. They see, where is this place? What's that costume? We want to learn more about this. It's really beautiful. And one of the best comments I had is, there was two Italians visiting the exhibition in Venice. They said, it's one of the most beautiful exhibition we saw in Venice today.
That is lovely. That is so lovely. And you must be proud, and I'm sure we're all proud of you. But we'd also like to know, what other memorable experiences do you have that motivate you?
There is a lot of memories and experiences in the art world, let's say, when it comes to clients or students, for example. Like in visiting countries around the world, when I start to draw people in cafes, like for example, all the people in the cafe, they will start to notice and they really appreciate my work. So you build relations with people you don't know through art. That's when it comes to
and
visiting.
then you're introduced to their culture through
Exactly.
art as well.
And when they found that you are from that country, they ask about your country, and they said, oh, you have an artist in that professionalism level. That when it comes to people, international. And in local, to the community. For example, I have one of my students. She visited my studio as a model to paint her. Now she becomes a student. I discovered that she is talented and she can paint. So now she is painting, creating a lot of beautiful work. If she didn't come and visit my studio, she will not be an artist now.
So she found her passion for art through that visit. Ahmed, would also like to understand how you deal with creative blocks, because everything we talked about is so inspiring and so lovely to know, but there's a specific point in every artist's journey, whether it's prolonged or short-lived, but there's always a creative block. How do you deal? How do you manage these creative blocks?
I don't believe in creative blocks at all.
Okay.
I don't believe in such thing.
Do you ever feel uncertain?
I believe that it's all in the mind.
Okay.
People create these things. Oh, I cannot paint. Oh, I don't feel like painting. It's your mind is talking. If you don't feel like painting, then don't paint. Don't bother your mind.
So you don't need to label it as a creative block.
No, just take a walk or do something else. Because sometimes when you've been there all the time, you don't start to miss it. You start to see it as a normal thing. But I think the best solution for all these topics related to blogs and etc. is to have discipline, and that's it. Have discipline in work.
So is this the advice you'd give your students if they came to you
Always.
and said, we cannot paint today because I'm dealing with a creative block?
I say, I don't want to hear this again, and you have to be disciplined.
Okay.
Work every day, or 3 days a week, 1 day a week. Just make a schedule for yourself to create. Sketching, painting, you don't have to paint every day. For example, I consider myself as a professional artist. I don't paint every day. I don't sketch every day.
So how often do you paint?
But when I paint, let's say for example, tomorrow I'll paint 3 hours. It's 3 hours dedicated to paintings only.
So you're focused on what you're doing at that specific time, and you deliver what you're envisioning.
Yeah.
Lovely. What else do you feel you need to share with your students when it comes to not only creative blocks, but also what we mentioned earlier, the lack of authenticity?
As I've mentioned before, is to quit social media for a while.
Social media. Digital detox.
Digital detox is the solution. Because you see many artists now are affected by social media. Ahmed is doing this, I want to create like them. It's okay. It's okay to get inspired by Ahmed Muqeem, but don't be Ahmed Muqeem.
Especially that your work really reflects a deep appreciation for Kuwaiti traditions and values and our culture as a whole. Like you said in the exhibition, they said this is the best exhibition they've been to. So how does this help you, or how do you see your role as an artist in shaping social perceptions?
I said before, there is no message, but I think there is role now. No message, but there is role as an artist.
Roles to create a specific culture identity, maybe?
I think something related to that thing is to have this identity and to have this character in community that I'm an artist. And it's an important role. I have to be facing community as an artist to show the importance of this field in how it's affect Kuwait in a positive way.
How do you see that is affecting Kuwait in a positive way?
As I mentioned, when I travel, whether it's invitation or it's my own travel, they value my work and appreciate it, and they see that the artist is contemporary and international, and artist is a high value person in society. So when they see this artist, Ahmed for example, came from Kuwait with this knowledge, this means that in Kuwait they are providing him with a good environment and good support
and the tools needed
to make him this successful artist. And it's raised the value and shows the big value in Kuwait, that Kuwait is really a country taking care in culture.
And you're so focused on the Kuwaiti culture. So I'd like to know, what advice would you give aspiring artists that would like to follow a similar artistic theme, let's call it?
I don't advise them exactly to follow what I'm doing, but it's good to discover Kuwait. For example, this winter, I've been discovering the beauty of gardens in Kuwait, and I started to draw and paint the beauty in gardens. And I've created beautiful pieces. For example, the garden Shuweikh. I've created 2 paintings with the trees and start to understand colors and shapes. So this is Kuwait. I'm painting in Kuwait. So why don't I don't have to focus on only one thing or one subject, or Kuwait is not inspiring. There are many things to get inspired, and just be clear, have a clear vision and clear view, and don't label things. Just watch and paint, enjoy.
Watch and paint. So while you watch, you get inspired, but a lot of people really want to start a hobby or something that they might find out it's their life's purpose or they're passionate about, but they don't know where to start. So what advice, now that you gave us advice for aspiring artists, what advice would you give people that don't necessarily know that they are aspiring artists? How can a person start and understand more about art, like the model that came to the studio?
Yeah. First of all is, if you want to do anything in your life, believing in yourself is first thing to do, is believe in yourself. Second thing is try to collect knowledge by discovering yourself and trying to understand and study the surroundings, drawing, not feeling scared or ashamed of what you do. Because many people, as beginners, when they come to my studio, they feel shame when they're drawing. I created mistakes. Don't feel shame. It's okay to create mistakes. That's how you learn. And by time you'll improve your mistakes. And the most important thing is to find the right mentor or the right teacher to give you the right true information about drawing.
You know, I actually really agree with you, because a mentor will always direct you in the right direction and help you shape the pathway that you're meant to find yourself at or on, and then moving forward to reach your passion or your goals. And moving forward for you, Ahmed, what are your goals?
I don't like to attach myself to only one goal. There are many goals I have. And I don't think of them, I work on them. So if I have an idea...
So what are you working on right now?
Too many things, many goals. Let's see, if you define them as goals, I say simply projects, because a project means the work got started. But when we
so
say
it's
goals,
a work in progress for you,
yeah,
right
all
now.
all the goals are working now, because I don't like to have a goal and it's not working on it. So it's a work in progress in the projects. Yes.
And I'm sure they're going to come to life soon, and you'll see all your work in progress right in front of you. We really enjoyed this interview, Ahmed. Thank you for this lovely interview, and we hope we'll have you here one more time. Okay. Thank you, صح? Thank you, Ahmed, for this lovely interview. We really enjoyed it, and we're sure you're gonna succeed more and more, and all the best to you.
Thanks to you, Fajr, and it's my pleasure.
And to everyone that's tuned in, stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break. Oh, damn, okay. And to everyone that's tuned in, that's it from us today at Around Kuwait. We'll be back with more episodes. Be sure to tune in for more topics and events in our show. Until then, stay safe. Goodbye.